tell a story, so I guess I will. It's the story of a corgi that went missing. It had been a long night and a long day. The kind of day and night where I drank so much, I couldn't remember how much I drank, so I drank some more. Just to make sure I drank enough. I was in my office. It had been cold and wet. The kind of cold and wet in Kashigo that you feel in your bones. And no matter how much you drink, you just can't get warm. That's when he came in.
I hope you don't mind, but I showed myself in.
He was a fancy man. With glasses that had no lenses. And a fur around his neck and a stance like he was about to leap across the stage in the Nutcracker.
Forgive me. The night is cold. And I am troubled.
Need a drink?
Please.
It's nothing fancy like you're probably used to.
Oh, I like it.
Good.
It warms my heart and my soul.
What can I do for you?
First, you must be sworn to secrecy. And that means tell no one. No one.
I wouldn't be good at my job if I told people things that people tell me in confidence. That's why I'm a private dick. Keep things private.
Very well. I'm sure you recognized me the moment I walked in.
Can't say as I did.
Oh, pity for you. For I am Hans Jenselstein. Famous dog trainer and handler to the stars.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
I know.
Do you want me to kiss that hand?
Sure, why not?
Sure.
Ooh, sensual.
Hands only get that soft when they've done nothing but pet soft dogs.
I like soft things. Now the reason why I'm here, my dog, well, not my dog, but the dogs that I handle, has gone missing. You're not reacting the way I expected.
I just love watching a man cry. I watched as he dabbed his eyes through his glasses without lenses. And I can't help but feel like there was a love there, the kind of love that everybody wants to feel, but only the lucky people get to experience. I can tell you're attached to that dog, Hans.
I love that dog the way that a boy loves his mother.
Really?
Yeah. It is undying love.
I would have expected you to explain it like a father might love his child.
Well, you are wrong.
Been wrong before.
But the problem is, it is not my dog. And I cannot tell the owner of the dog that the dog is missing. I've had one too many chances. And she is a beastly, ghastly woman.
I'm sure if you just explain it to her, she'll be fine.
You don't understand. The last time I fed her dog the wrong meal, she exploded like a volcano. And not one of those tabletop volcanoes that students make in science class, an actual volcano. and I was but a poor islander running from her wrath.
Sounds tough.
You don't know the half of it.
I don't?
No.
Hans,
Yes, yes. My queen.
where is my dog?
Oh, your dog is safely asleep aloft the 1,000 feathers of 10 different gooses.
Hans, what did I tell you about the word aloft?
You said that the word aloft was scary because it made you think of high places.
Exactly! Did I tell you to ever say it again within my presence?
No, you said not to say it again within your presence. And so I did not mean the loft, I meant...
I have checked all the dog's favorite places, and that dog is not in any of them.
The dog has a new favorite place, which it has not told you about.
That dog tells me all its secrets, Hans.
But this one is a surprise.
Hans,
Yes?
if I do not see that dog within 24 hours, not only will you lose your job, but you will become my dog.
You have told me this before. I will make sure...
Within 24 hours.
So she is suspicious.
She doesn't sound so nice.
She's not.
What do you mean she's suspicious? Oh, she's suspicious of you.
She is. I told her that I knew where her dog was, which I didn't. And I don't think she believed me.
Does this dog have a name, or do you just keep calling it the dog?
The dog's name is Desdemona Pearl. But we call her Penny for short.
Doesn't make any sense.
A penny is good luck. And this dog brings everyone it encounters good luck.
So who do you think might have taken this dog, or do you think this dog just decided it wanted to go and have a little adventure of its own?
Desdemona Pearl would never do this. No. It could be one of two people.
You put two fingers up when you said one and one when you said two.
Just making sure you're paying attention.
Who do you think it is?
It could be the dog catcher. Not just a dog catcher, the dog catcher.
And who else?
There's a rival dog owner. She loses to Penny every year. And she is furious every year.
What's her name?
I don't dare speak her name.
Well, then I guess I'll just rule her out because I
No,
don't know
you
who
must
it is.
not rule her out. You must not.
Who is it?
Her name is Carlisle.
Is that her first name or her last
I
name?
don't know. She just goes by Carlisle.
Fancy. All right. Well, this is gonna cost a lot because I don't have any money right now. And clearly you have a lot.
I do.
I might even ask you for that little fur thing wrapped around your neck in the deal.
If you successfully bring Penny back to me, I will give you this mink and many, many more.
All right. It's a deal. He pet the mink around his neck, started crying again. I could hear his wails as he walked down the street. They reverberated through the empty streets, the buildings. It was a cold night, and that made the sound crisp as it found its way to my ears. I decided the first place to look for the dog was on the streets. I knew the streets like the back of my hand, maybe better, because I didn't spend a lot of time looking at the back of my hand. But I spent a lot of time walking the streets of Kashigo City. Penny! want a treat? I got whiskey.
Dogs don't like whiskey.
They don't? Every dog I've ever had liked whiskey. Stop getting dogs, though. They just break your heart when they die young. Which now's the first time it ever occurred to me. Maybe it's because I gave him a lot of whiskey. Dog would be nice on a cold night like tonight. You don't like dogs?
I love dogs. I don't like people who don't treat dogs well.
Nice hat.
Nice coat.
Thanks. I'm dressed like a private detective. You're dressed like a dog catcher.
How could you tell?
'Cause of your hat. And your van that says dog catcher parked right over there.
Thought I was inconspicuous because I didn't bring my net.
Doesn't take a net when you've plastered it on the side of your van, does it? You want a drink?
Not while I'm on the job. I take dog catching seriously.
Clearly. What made you get into this line of work? Seems like
When I was little, my dad gave my puppy some whiskey and he died.
sounds like maybe I struck a nerve. You're looking at me with a lot of hate, friend.
I can't trust people, I can only trust dogs.
Were you just sniffing me?
Hmm?
Been around dogs so much?
Know what I smell on you?
What?
Lust for a man that she'll never have. A wish to be something more than you are. An apple pie.
He was right about two of those things. I don't know where the apple pie came from. You think you know a lot, huh? Well, tell me something. You seen any dogs out here tonight? Have you caught any fancy dogs lately?
Fancy dogs. I have not caught any fancy dogs. I only like the dogs of the streets. I've got hard hands because I only pet hard dogs.
Well, then you and I should get along a lot better. You might say I'm a dog of this streets, and those streets. I've lived in this city a long time, seen a lot of dogs come and go. Old dogs, angry dogs. You just wait for the dogs to come to you?
I use treats. It's
Smart.
a dog catcher's secret. Food. No one else has thought of it. It's me. I've got a patent for it. I submitted it. Hadn't heard back, don't know why. I said, using food to catch dogs. I'm an entrepreneur. Nobody believes in me because I'm a dog catcher. I have ideas, and I have a love for dogs.
I didn't know you could patent a technique for catching dogs.
I'm assuming you can. Still haven't seen it yet.
Especially because you're a city employee. Seems like even if you got the patent, it would belong to Kashigo. I don't feel like you're telling me the truth.
I don't feel like you're telling me what you're really looking for.
Told you I'm looking for a fancy dog.
What kind of fancy dog?
Dog named Penny.
The winner of the Westminster Dog Show for the last 4 years?
I guess so. I knew she was a winner.
Oh, I ain't seen a dog like that. I I don't like dogs like that. Fancy dogs win all the prizes. Some of us don't ever win prizes. We're still good.
Here's my card. If you see her, give me a call. And if I don't answer my phone, just yell out my name. I might be nearby.
Do you ever lose a dog? And I hope you don't. You know where to find me.
Apparently, sitting on this corner with a pocket
There's a lot
full
of
of
dogs
treats.
in this area. There's a lot of dogs here.
What's your name, friend?
Marvin.
It's a terrible name. What's the name you have in your heart?
Tyler Quinn.
Understood. Understood. I left my friend Marvin Tyler Quinn sitting on that corner. There was so much going on behind those eyes. I knew there was more than the patent spinning up in that mind of his. There was more he wanted out of this life than just catching dogs. But I couldn't figure out what. Now it was time to go see my friend Carlisle. Sure, I knew who Carlisle was. Everybody did. Carlisle lived up on the hill in one of the 3 fancy houses. Thought I'd stop by, see what she was up to.
Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a dream that I dreamed of once in a lullaby. Oh,
It's a pretty song, Carlisle.
thank you, Ruby. What are you doing here?
Just thought I'd come say hi.
You never just come say hi. I was trying on all my rings. Want to try some on? I'll let you keep one.
Yes. Yes, I do.
I hope you don't have anything that's going to upset me, Ruby. I don't want to be upset today, I've decided.
It's a good decision, Carlisle.
Thank you.
If you can decide not to be upset, that's a skill a lot of people wish they had.
Yeah. Well, it's a skill I'm cultivating. Anyway. Oh, it's very nice.
Where'd you get this one, Carlisle?
Probably on some street in Italy somewhere.
What about this one?
Oh, I'm certain I got that in Spain.
Can I have this one?
Sure, I got that in a Cracker Jack box. It's all yours.
Damn it.
You have to leave the other 2.
Can't trade it in. This is, I ruined my chances. Fuck.
Ruby, what a mouth you have on you. Speaking of, thank you.
Help yourself, Carlisle.
One trinket to another.
I just always wish I had champagne taste. But I can look at a box full of European gems and it's the Cracker Jacks toy that makes me excited.
Ruby, what are you here for?
I just wanted some good cheer, Carlisle.
Don't have enough of it in this bottle? I have a bunch of bottles underneath where I keep my rings. Got them all over Europe. If you want to keep one, you can.
I'd love it, because I just made this and the still under my desk. Had that one fancy bottle. Pretend that it's from there.
my God. I never thought I'd say this, but slow down, Ruby. You're gonna make yourself sick.
It's just that fancy whiskey goes down like melted butter.
You're right about something. And when you're right about something, you're right about something. I'll tell you, that's what I always say. It's better to be right about something than not.
It's a good saying, Carlisle. It's a real good saying.
Are you doing any detectiving today, or just sitting around drinking?
I'm just sitting around drinking, Carlisle. It's cold out. I wanted to come see you because you're always wearing furs.
It's cold inside, too.
And you always have all these dogs running around.
I love my dogs. They're my babies. I'm so proud of them, even though they try every year to win Westminster, and they never do. One day they will win. And I'll be here to see it. I'll tell you that. I want that more than most things I want in my life. But I decided to be happy today. So I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Yeah, I can see I made you break your promise to yourself that you weren't going to get upset today.
You're always making me break my promises, Ruby.
That's true. Like your vows.
Well, okay, well that was one time. And it was very nice.
It was very nice. Do you love your dog so much, Carlisle, that you do anything to win?
What are you talking about?
Would you do your shedding?
The dogs like to sleep on top of the fur. It's redundant.
Would you maybe steal somebody else's dog? Would you do that, Carlisle?
What are you talking about? I would never steal anything from anybody. Why would I? I have all this money. I don't even know what to do with it.
Yeah, there's one thing you don't have is a dog that's won Westminster.
I know that, okay? But
You've never won, Carlisle, never.
I'm going to be happy today.
Not all the money in the world, not all the fancy rings or fancy whiskey can buy you that one thing.
I know it. Of course I know it. But what's someone to do? Someone like me, Carlisle. I just have to keep going. And I just have to keep showing my dogs, and one day they'll win. But I would never do anything like that. You do know when a girl needs a drink.
Sure do. One more question for you, Carlisle.
Ask away.
And then we can cuddle in the furs and the dogs.
Well, all right.
Is Carlisle your first name or your last name?
It's both. My name is Carlisle.
Let's go get warm.
All right, sure.
Just gotta bring my gun.
Okay. Well, it's gonna be an interesting day after all.
We went to her bedroom. We took off our clothes. We snuggled up in a pile of furs and dogs and furs and dogs. It was warm and cozy and redundant. And we rolled around and we couldn't tell which were furs and which were dogs and what was Carlisle and what was me. And it was a lovely night. When I woke up, I left her there, still sleeping, not sure what snores were hers and what were the dogs. I didn't know where else I had to go. So I decided maybe I should talk to the dog's owner. Maybe she had something to say. vermouth. Most people don't drink it straight.
I'm not most people.
You must be having some kind of day.
Who are you and how did you make your way inside of my home?
My name's Ruby Rocket. I'm a journalist for the Kashigo Weekly.
That's my favorite weekly.
It's the best one. Wanted to know if you had some time to talk about Penny.
Penny, why do you think I have my vermouth out?
I don't have any guesses. Why don't you tell me?
I couldn't possibly talk to a reporter about secrets. Reporters do nothing with secrets but tell them. It's their job.
It is our job. I didn't bring a notebook, so I'll just hold on to my gun. I remember better.
I'm sorry, did you say gun?
I remember better when I have my gun in my hand.
That checks out.
Listen, how's it feel to win the Westminster Dog Show 4 years in a row?
It feels divine. It feels like I'm on top of the world. Nothing can bring me down. Nothing's wrong and everything's fine.
That sounds true. The way you say it.
That's because I say it with confidence. You should learn something from that.
Sounds good. Feel like I could learn a lot from you.
Probably. Most people could.
What's your secret to being a winner?
Money, and grace.
Definitely can't just be money, because there's lots of people with money who would do anything to be in your position.
Anything. They would do anything to be in my position. Well, then maybe they should start doing some of the things that would qualify for anything. If they wanted to get to where I am, they should start doing the things I'm doing.
Well, what are some of those? Maybe I can put a little advice in my article for losers who want to be winners like you.
Dress properly, speak properly, have a strong, confident tone in your voice, and know that you are a winner.
That's all it takes to make a dog win the Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show?
That and a supreme dog, unlike any other dog that's ever been seen before. The greatest, most fluffy dog, the kind of dog where when you look in his or her eyes, you know that they know that you know that they're the best. And they have a little bit of swagger in their walk. You ever seen a corgi walk?
I have once or twice.
They know how to shake their rear end.
This is a beautiful mural. Is that Penny? Must be 25, 30 feet wide.
Sure is. I wanted it bigger, but I was told I was being simply ridiculous.
It's big, but it could be bigger.
That's what I said. You're not so bad, even though you have bad posture, a burning cigarette, and a gun in your hand.
It's not a safe city.
Oh, isn't that the truth? There's lies around every corner in this town.
Just one more question for my article. What would you do if something ever happened to Penny?
Seems like an odd question to ask. Nothing could possibly happen to Penny. I'm rich and I have the best dog handler in town. Yes, he may be a little bit eccentric, But he's the best there. You should be careful when you do that.
Just had an itch on my nose.
That is a ludicrous question. Nothing could ever happen to my dear, sweet, precious Penny. And if anything did, I would turn the person who did anything to that dog that was bad into a dog themselves.
Madam, I just wanted to let you know, your dog, Penny, our dog, my queen bee of dogs, is fine and in a cuddly little bunch of fluff. And I will go tend to her now.
Thank you, Hans.
Thank you.
You've done well today. Keep the kisses to yourself unless I ask for some.
I will
Thank
eat them
you.
for now.
You have to keep them in line.
Must be a lot of pressure to win so many times in a row.
I can handle it.
Penny must be getting old. I hear there's a lot of competition this year.
Oh yes, from who?
Carlisle for one.
Oh, Carlisle. That woman could never hurt anything or have a bad temper about her at all. In fact, I say she's too giving.
I bet you do. I bet you do. Cheers. Enjoy that vermouth.
When can I expect my face to be on the cover of the weekly and on all stands in the city?
There'll be a photographer coming in a little bit. You can see the article next week before the dog show.
Interesting. Guess I should freshen up.
I should have felt bad that I told her a photographer was coming when there was no photographer coming. But she was mean, and I didn't care. If I wasted a little bit of her time, she seemed like she deserved it. But there was something more going on with her too, because why else was she sitting around drinking vermouth? Why couldn't she afford a cabinet full of whiskey? She certainly wasn't trying on any rings. I didn't know what to do. So I just decided to do what I do best and walk, think, and drink.
Best dog trainer in the world's Tyler Quinn.
Didn't expect to find you here, friend.
You look like you've had a bad day.
Not as bad as you. Nice trophy you got there.
Thanks. I carved it and painted it myself. Because I want to win something someday.
Is that right?
It's a little man with a star.
That star looks a lot like the star they give you when you win the Westminster Kennel Club dog show.
I thought I was gonna do it this year.
You did?
I retracted, I just said that.
Too late. I was actually listening right then. I've always wanted to be a dog trainer
Yeah.
instead of a dog catcher. Makes
I
a lot of
know
sense.
dogs. No one believes in me, Ruby.
I believe in you, Marvin Tyler Quinn.
You use my full name? My full dream name?
That's right. I used your given name and your heart name.
I did something bad, Ruby.
What'd you do?
You ever used your skills that God gave you in a way that was bad. Hypothetically speaking, if you had a way with dogs and you had a patented technique to bring them closer to you, an innovative technique that no one thought of, and then you use it to take a dog that's someone else's dog, is hypothetical. Would you feel bad? I feel so bad, Ruby. I feel so bad.
Did you steal Penny?
I stole Penny. Do
Why'd
you know
you
she
do it?
has a name too? They didn't call her by her dream name, Desdemona. They just call her Penny. She has a better name. She has a full, long name. Like a Tyler Quinn, like a Desdemona, and they just like, Penny! We just want you to do what we want you to do to make us feel better about ourselves, and that dog, it deserves to be happy on its own. Desdemona! You're a queen!
Why don't you just tell me where she is? And I'll make sure nobody knows you took her. Give me the dog, Marvin. I'll get her back to where she belongs. You won't feel bad anymore, and I'll make sure nobody finds out.
What was the name of your dog when you were growing up?
Sinbad.
That's a good dog name.
He's a sailor. And it also has the words sin and bad in it. True to my own heart. Were you gonna enter the dog show with Desmodona?
I thought if I took her and then I showed that I could train her to be even better than she was, then everybody would look at me and they wouldn't say dog catcher, they'd say dog trainer when they saw me. But I lost track of her.
You stole her and then you lost her?
Yeah.
And then your patented technique did not work to find her?
I was out of treats.
This is exactly when you needed to be a dog
I know,
catcher.
it's
You're supposed to be a dog catcher.
It's hard to be all things, Ruby. A dreamer and a doer.
Where were you when you lost her? Where were you when you lost her? Where'd you last see her?
I was by my van. On the street by the fancy houses, the 3 houses that are fancy in Kashigo. Why did I do this?
Because you're a dreamer,
Not a doer.
not a doer.
It's got real sad.
It's okay. Some of us just meant to accept our lot in life. It's not the hand you're dealt. It's how you play the cards. You didn't play them very well today. There's always shuffling of the deck.
I thought you were gonna say tomorrow.
Well, another hand. Same thing. Just more poetically put. All right. I guess my job's not done. Good luck. Something about the cold weather making everybody cry. It's like that kind of bitter cold that makes your eyes water, and maybe you figure you can let a few tears slip and no one will know the difference. I went back to my office and I got a strange phone call. Gave me some information I was looking for.
Bring.
So many different ringing sounds. Rocket.
Hello, Ruby. It was Carlisle.
Hey, Carlisle. How are you?
I was practicing calling you before I called you.
Feel so connected to you, Carlisle. It was like I could almost hear your voice saying, "Bring her, bring her, bring her."
Listen, I was thinking, after we made love and all, I had this idea. She's always trying to create drama around her dog so that she hits the headlines in the papers. She always wants some kind of attention going into Westminster so that everybody's rooting for her. She wanted to make Penny the underdog when Penny's won 4 years in a row. Well, this would be the comeback win of the century, even though, I just thought maybe you should look into it. That's all.
Makes a lot of sense. Thanks, Carlisle. Maybe I'll come back after this case is done and we can finish what we started.
Yeah, I've decided to feel melancholy for a little bit. But then, when you come back, maybe I'll decide to be happy again.
Sounds good. I decided I want to make you break some more vows. Have a good night.
All right, hanging up.
It was an interesting theory. Maybe Mrs. Roosevelt had stolen her own dog so that she could create a little drama and everyone would be rooting for her when she came back. So I went back up to the house on the hill, but I decided to sneak in to see what I could see. Unfortunately, the first thing I saw was a dead dog handler. He was laying out in the grass. He looked beautiful. I snuck by him. I didn't want to have to deal with this before I finished finding out what had gone wrong. I went down to a window, the base of the house, and I climbed in. And what I found there, something I never would have guessed. There was a lab. Everything was white, crystal clean. There were dog kennels, not the fancy kind, but the kind that you find in labs. Not enough space for the dogs to stand up, sit down, and turn around. And every dog in there looked exactly like Penny. Dog after dog after dog. Some were little, some were medium, some were big.
Oh, dang it. I can't even get a gun right.
Marvin, it's a toy gun.
Oh, man, I spent all my money on it. He told me it was real.
It's a dog toy. What are you doing here?
Don't go. You have to go.
I have to go.
Go.
You go.
She's awful. You've got to get out of here.
What's the story behind all these pennies, Marvin? Tyler.
What?
Speaking to you heart to heart. Tyler, tell me, what is this wall of dogs?
Oh, nothing. Just years and years of prosperity, wealth, and fame. Something you'll never know about, gun holder.
I'm not a journalist.
Surprise, surprise. Some of us aren't who we say we are and tell little lies that end up hurting the people around them.
She was wearing a white lab coat, and she had a stethoscope around her neck, and she had a magnifying glass in her pocket, and all the tools fancy scientists wear. You're not just a dog owner.
No, that's what everybody just paints me into, a box that says dog owner.
And you're not just a rich lady.
No, I am actually very smart. Shocking, I know.
It is shocking, because you're so mean. I didn't think your brain would have enough room for smart, too.
That hurt a little bit. But I need to ask you a question, Ruby. You ever been painted into a corner, made to feel like all you are good for are fancy dogs? That maybe when you go to school, what you love is science and math, but no, those are not dainty pursuits for a lady of wealth. So what do I get? I get these dogs. What can I do with these dogs? I can make them more perfect than they already are, because they're already pretty perfect. They love to cuddle, and they're so cute, and their fur is so soft, and they love you unconditionally, but they only bring happiness for a short amount of time. I will defeat that. I will make an immortal dog that will win all the Westminsters for all time, because that dog show is going nowhere. It will eternally live on.
How are you gonna do that? Because I'm gonna have to call the police.
Don't. Ruby.
Mrs. Roosevelt, I gotta admit, your love of dogs was a moment into your heart that I never expected to see. And your story about wanting to be a scientist when no one will let you be one, something I can understand. I wanted to be a police officer, and nobody would let me be one because I'm a woman. And I would let you go, except you killed Hans. And no matter what, you can't get away for murder.
Can't get away for murder or...
With murder, on murder, in murder, or around murder. None of it. Don't shoot her. I'm not gonna shoot her, I'm just gonna keep her here until the cops come. And what has been your role in this?
Ruby, I admire that the sickness of the world has not turned your heart to stone, but alas, mine will never turn back.
Somebody call the cops.
Rick,
That's right, Ruby.
how'd you know where I was?
I just followed the trail of dog fur. I'm sniffing around like a dog. Never noticed you been sniffing up and down dogs and dog trainers. So I figured I'd follow my nose. And my nose always leads to you, Ruby.
That's the sweetest thing you've ever said to me, Rick.
I know that's real sad, but I meant every word of it.
Marvin, you stop right there.
I always point my gun at this one.
Rick, you smell like apple pie. Marvin, I guess you were 3 for 3. I didn't even know it.
Told you I'm good at something.
Guess you are.
Just like I always told you when we were growing up, you didn't have to love fancy dogs. It was enough to be yourself and love dogs.
That was real sweet.
Thanks.
Not quite sure what it meant, but I could tell it was sweet.
I knew exactly what it meant, Marvin.
I've been on love with you for a long time.
On love,
With love,
around love.
I wish my heart was capable of loving anything other than one of these little corgi heart butts. I'm sorry, Marvin.
I'm
Tyler Quinn.
She knows your heart name.
That may be the greatest thing that has ever happened to me. You calling me by my heart name.
Rick and I stepped outside and left them to make love for the first and last time. And then Rick took them in and booked them. They had colluded in stealing a dog, killing a man, and cloning Penny, a world-class champion. And that year, Carlisle finally got what she always wanted. Championship, the Westminster Dog Show. And when that show was over, we went back and cuddled that dog and each other until morning came. And so did we. And that's the story of the Missing Corgi. Ladies and gentlemen, Kristen Schier, Condon, please give it up for Emily Condon, who's doing a bunch of work in the dark. Anthony Arnista, Timm on the visuals. Oh, I gotta cross my nose. And Drake Hall playing all the beautiful music. And lastly, you guys for being here. Thank you so much for being here. Come check out some shows this weekend. We have Mary Beth Monroe from The Good Place and Workaholics. We'll be doing 4 different shows here this weekend, including another special edition of Ruby Rocket on Sunday with Jamie Moyer. Mary Beth's from Workaholics and Good Place, and she's been on Modern Family. Jamie's been on Modern Family, Parks and Rec. So check those out. In March, we'll have Amber Nash in Ruby Rocket. She's Pam from Archer, as well as, who else is going to be here? Stephanie Weir from Mad TV. And Ron Lynch from Bob's Burgers. So please come back, tell your friends, and one last round of applause for you guys. You've been awesome. Thank you so much. Have a great night. I had a fog in my throat. This is the end. The fog.